Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, your favorite Keanussance podcast. My name is Caitlin, and with me today are...
Jake.
Chris.
And good robot aims.
Excellent! Not heinous! Whatever the fuck. And we're here today for, what is this? Keanussance 2, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And bogus is a great word because, man, what an awful film.
So you didn't like it. That's
No,
interesting because
I thought...
for a lot of people, this is their favorite from the trilogy.
Yeah, because
this one doesn't hold up.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Because it's the same reason... I'm going to explain it before I explain the movie. It's the same reason that Turtles 2 was my favorite movie. And it's because the first movie was made for adult people. And then it's also the same for Austin Powers. And then non-adult people got into it because it was also about kids. And so then also they had great success. So they had more money. And so they said, we're going to take our piles of money, put lots of bullshit that stupid children will love into this movie and completely ruin what was great about the first movie. And they did that brilliantly. How did they do it? Well, let's get into it. In Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, some evil dickhead whose name I did not catch and I don't care.
Denomalos.
Because it's Ed Solomon backwards.
Denomalos, whatever.
Who's
I
one
know
of the
that
writers.
name.
He's one of the writers.
Oh, okay.
Mecha Hitler.
From Wolfenstein?
That's right. Wolfenstein 3D is the boss of the bad boss of this movie, and he does not like the excellent life that everyone is living under Bill and Ted. And I'll be honest, I don't blame them. I saw the clothes; they were terrible.
It was very 90s.
And they wouldn't look good on him.
Most 90s.
He looked great in all black. Like that was working for him. You know? So he decides that he's going to send some evil robot Bill and Ted's back to the present of 1991, 5 years after the first Bill and Ted, which it's important that we mention that because there's some shit that doesn't make a lot of sense based on that time, but that's not part of the intro. Anyway, he sends back robots to kill Bill and Ted, and guess what? The evil robots, they go back to the present and they kill Bill and Ted. And Bill and
that
Ted
was easy.
then...
Movie over.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you and good night. Wild Stallions. So, but nope, that's not it. Because it turns out, guys, you can cheat death if you can beat death at, like, games. Like, Twister and Clue and Battleship. But first, before we decide to just do that, we have to go to hell and, like, run through a bunch of dumb rooms and, like, kiss Granny or not kiss Granny. And, like, for some reason, the military school guy is there. I don't know. Anyway, we escape from hell. We go to heaven and we talk to God, which is cool. And God is like, yo, talk to these really stupid looking animatronics or maybe little people in suits. I really don't know which.
Bit of
But either
both.
way, absolute fucking horror shows because we had the money for whatever the fuck that was. So let's hire these guys and we're going to make good robot Bill and Ted. And guys, these are the greatest scientists in the fucking universe. So you know that their robot Bill and Ted's are going to be at least as good as the evil robot Bill and Ted's. Am I right?
Hey. They were on a time limit and a budget.
I don't listen. I don't want to
Denomalos
hear
took literally eons for
any
this.
excuses. I don't want to hear it. What we get is something that looks like it belongs in, like, I don't know, one of those, like, weird Michael Jackson, like, claymation stop motion music videos from the probably the 80s, I guess. And, man, it's terrible. And then we have 20 minutes of evil robots getting their heads blown up and good robots being most excellent and wild stallions from the future with their babies showing up and winning the Battle of the Bands, and the end. That's it. I mean, happily ever after. What a fucking stupid movie.
Now, also in Station's defense,
No.
they were also working with like early 20th century
that's true.
tech from a department store. Like the fact that they were able to make robots at all out of shit that was not meant to be robots actually just proves how smart they are.
On the other hand, 5 years earlier, E.T. made a fucking interdimensional telephone out of a speak and spell. So,
And it still looked goofy.
well, yeah, but we could have, it didn't look as goofy as this. We could have got E.T. These things look like they were made of fucking melted Lego blocks.
I think that's the aesthetic of the movie, though. The aesthetic of the movie is just
garbage.
Is camp factor at 11, and it is incohesive entirely. It feels like a lot of individual skits, some of which land well, some of which land randomly, strung together.
And the thing is, I feel like last week we talked about that was kind of the original too, but it worked better.
At least the first one like had a story that was consistent from start to finish. It had a through line, and like it made each of the time travel adventures that they went on had sort of we're just looking at this sketch.
Yeah, I think the only thing that felt kind of like unexplored and underexplained in Excellent Adventure is when everyone's just doing chores for a couple of gags.
Yeah.
Felt out of place. This movie, it's like every single piece is one of those gags, and they just strung them together.
And I forgot about like the terrible seance and like
and the constant attempted rape. That I could have emphatically done without.
What the fuck was that?
And
that aged poorly.
Then the use of the F star G slur like a lot, which
twice.
I gotta tell you, that actually bummed me out more than anything, because I would think that Bill and Ted would not be like that. I would think that Bill and Ted would be better than that.
I would think so too, but at the same time,
they were kids.
That's how everybody talked.
I used to call people since high school, but
I was gonna say
But these are the supreme rulers of the world. They should be better. Also, just to quibble immediately. They are the supreme rulers of the world. Why were they sent to hell first? That's crazy. There's no reason
that was
why they
because
should have wound up in hell.
Yeah, it was because of the seance.
That was the seance. Originally, they were just going to go with the Reaper, but then they told him to fuck off.
Okay.
Here's my question about the Reaper, because I don't think anyone thought through what the actual kind of idea of what the afterlife was for this movie, because I think the Bill and Ted Go to Hell, which was the original title, which they scrapped, was just, the zany gags. But Death amazingly portrayed by William Sadler, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I will give the movie this. Like, it wasn't good, but he fucking committed to the bit. And he is a highlight.
Death was
because he is just
Death
like...
was my,
Yeah, all hail Death. And when they first meet up with Death, he says, "Oh, there's a way to get out of it if you challenge me. Otherwise, you're trapped here forever." And I'm like, weren't they gonna be there forever anyway because they're dead? Like, what is the downside to losing to death? Is there one?
Maybe instead of going to heaven or hell, you just stay in limbo.
But he never says anything about that.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, what it was is they wanted to do a Seventh Seal joke and didn't think beyond that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will say, though, about those fucking robots, I had said this off air last week. Little me, when I first saw this movie, was scared to fucking death of the good robots.
Really?
They were horrifying.
I was impressed.
That's the thing is, like, as an adult, it's different. But when I was a child, like, the design, the creepy digitized voices, the jerky way they moved, they were supposed to be the good ones. And I was scared shitless as a little boy. And even as an adult, they're not scary, but that, lizard part of my brain still kind of flinches when they talk. It's like, yeah, fuck those things, man.
That's funny.
I didn't like them.
Very few memories of seeing this as a kid. I remember Station. I remember the ending. I lost a lot of the in-betweens. So I don't really remember what I thought of the robots. But now, my current mindset is that is a fun aesthetic. The kind of
it is.
Cobbled together from trash, having hand warmer or hand dryers as parts of them. Like they are interesting looking, and I like the steel wool hair on Bill Robot. Like, that one's pretty good.
I definitely, as an adult,
made those wigs.
I love that for him.
As an adult, I definitely appreciate their design a lot more. But as a kid, I just did not enjoy them.
Is that whose cat is purring so beautifully?
Oh, is he purring into the microphone?
Yes, and I love it.
Oh, wow,
Please don't ever make him stop because it is so nice. This is like ASMR.
Aw.
Yeah, boy, though, this picture, though, like, has not held up.
Yeah, I was surprised when a lot of people said, because I recently I listened to the podcast from the Weekly Planet where they did Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey together. And they both said, okay, which one was your favorite as a kid? And they both said Bogus Journey. Which one's your favorite after this rewatch? And they were split. One of them still said Bogus Journey. One of them said Excellent Adventure.
Wow.
And I was surprised.
Crazy.
Because
I feel like it has to be a nostalgia pick for people
100%.
because so this is, like I said last week, I'm sure I saw Excellent Adventure when I was a kid. I had zero recollection of the details until we rewatched it for last week. I don't know if I've ever watched this. It's possible I had, but like not a thing in it was familiar. So I'm going to say probably not.
You repressed it.
And like, I know sometimes people come in, I don't know. I can remember there was some movie. Oh, Gremlins. It was Gremlins that I showed Ames for the first time.
And I detest.
Because she hadn't watched that. And like I have so much affection for that movie. And its sequel, which kind of suffers the same, it's the same thing with Bill and Ted, right? The first Gremlins movie is, in my opinion, a classic. And the second one is a totally different genre, and it's a comedy, and I love them both. But I showed those movies to Ames being like, oh, this is a great thing. You're going to love it. And she's like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's funny how often, because I was thinking, Caitlin, you were talking about the fact that, it seems like, the original was probably made for a slightly, probably teenagers and up. And then they realized kids were into it too. And I think it's telling that
that's where the money is,
Between these movies, they launched a cartoon.
It was between them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
The cartoon came out, I think I looked at this last night, but it was a year before. So they were probably in development, kind of simultaneously. And there was an even shorter lived live action series that would have come out around the same time as the movie. The second movie. But yeah, I think they were kind of like, ooh, we're going to franchise the fuck out of this. And, but again, in a similar vein, if you watch, say, the Short Circuit pictures, the original is intended, you could say it's a family film, there's nothing you couldn't show a child, and I grew up on it and loved it. But 2 is very much a kid's movie, and it's fucking terrible once you're older. The original, if not for the brown face, I would recommend to people. Now it's a little uncomfortable. And by a little, I mean very.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Now, Caitlin, in your intro, you said that this movie was 5 years after the original in terms of when it was supposed to take place?
Yeah, they say that it's the 5th anniversary of the princesses coming to the future.
Oh, is that what they said?
That's what I thought they said. I thought that they said it's your 5th birthday since coming, or 5th year in the 20th century or whatever.
Well, it was the card said it was their 521st birthday.
Yeah, 521st birthday, but I think that spoken aloud before that was we're celebrating their 5th year in 19 whatever the fuck 20th century. Maybe I misheard, but if I didn't,
if they said that, I missed it.
But the thing is, though, the reason why that was problematic for me was because if it was first of all, it initially was problematic to me because they're like, Battle of the Bands, and I was like, that is a high school thing, and they were like, nope, it's a real thing, and I was like, oh, okay. Because they would not have still been in high school 5 years later. And then I thought, well, okay, they're not in high school anymore then. And then Oates shows up and is like, I could still fuck you in the ass in Alaska. And I'm like, wait a minute. Adults who have graduated high school don't go to military school. And kids who are still in high school don't live in apartments, usually.
Well, and also Bill is drinking a beer at the party.
That's what I thought too. I thought he had a beer in his hand. They don't.
A Miller Lite.
It very well.
Terrible taste.
No taste, really. Just like Miller Lite. Hey.
But yeah, no. That is very weird that Oates is acting like he can do anything with them. It's
Who invited him?
They're Ted's dad. They're like
weird.
Besties. Plus, it looked like Missy wanted to fuck him too.
Oh, absolutely.
So Missy,
she said
that's the other development. So Missy left Bill's dad for Ted's dad, and I've decided that I think I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt before, but I think now I just have to just say it. She's just a hoe.
She's a running gag.
Did you read the papers at the end credits?
No, I didn't have time.
She eventually leaves Ted's dad for Denomalos.
Oh, well, good move. Oh, so she's like Melania Trump.
Kinda.
Yeah. See, I would have found it funnier if she shacked up with Death.
That would have, yeah.
Or if she married whoever, like they joked about. But I also wouldn't have liked that because then the princess would have been scorned, and we don't like scorned princesses. Yeah. I honestly, though, the thing is Death has obviously had so much disappointment already in his life. When she left him eventually for, I don't know, Anubis, it would have just really broken his heart, and I wouldn't want that for him. Death was probably my favorite part of this movie, like, throughout.
Absolutely.
And then he was the bassist, and I was like, fuck yeah, soul sister!
Yeah, he fully embraces this. I think Death has, like, the best character arc, because, he starts out, he's just the classic Death. But then, like, he just clearly wants to hang out and be friends, and he gets to join the band, and you learn in all the newspaper clippings afterwards that he was in the band, then he went solo for a while, and that didn't work out, and he rejoined the band, and it's like, just adorable little Death snippets.
What bassist do we think they were busting balls on for trying to go solo? Because I can't think of any bassists who went solo and then couldn't make it, because I can't imagine the bassist going solo. Or maybe that's just a joke. Or maybe it's not a joke.
Like, the only, like, successful former bassist I know off the top of my head is Paul McCartney.
Yeah, that worked out for him, though, so... Well,
yeah,
I mean, depending on who you ask. I mean, I fucking don't like Wings, but most people don't care what I think, so... Including Paul McCartney, I'm told.
What's so funny, too, is, like, I know William Sadler, aside from this, for 3 things. Die Hard 2, where you do see his butt.
Ooh.
Well, I assume it could have been a stand-in. Yeah. The movie, like, starts with him doing naked calisthenics.
All right.
No, not like naked Tai Chi or something.
Do you see any...
Do
you see any Thai stick?
No. So, yeah, Die Hard 2, DS9, of course, where he's Sloane, and the straight man astronaut in Rocket Man. So it's really, like, he's just always so stern. It's great to see him, like, and almost weird to see him just getting to be comedic.
Yeah,
like, even though
he's got great comic timing.
Yeah.
He also plays Andy's friend that gets really into listening to country music in Shawshank Redemption.
That's nice for him.
I didn't do it. Lawyer fucked me.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I'm so used to being serious. And again, in this, he starts off as like a straight man.
But you would call him being in Section 31 serious? Come on now.
Actually, so fun fact, I looked up Ted's dad last night. Yeah, he shows up as a Romulan in a Section 31 episode.
Oh,
interesting.
Too bad. I was thinking
he was actually
that he reminded me of the lawyer from Jurassic Park, but I don't think that's him. He's just got a similar vibe to his jib.
Yeah, but similar, like white dudes with long faces and the horseshoe hair, as I call it.
Yeah, I do actually think the dad playing him possessed by his son was very fun.
Oh my God,
he did a good job at that.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did anybody see Kohlrami in there too?
I did.
The other cop.
The one that Bill possesses.
The other cop that was at the briefing that Bill possessed was Kohlrami from Peak Performance, the TNG episode.
He was the Zach Dorn? Yeah, Zach Dorn.
Oh, the Wiggly Finger guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also in Total Recall.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't notice. Without the makeup, how would you?
He's been in some other Star Trek too. I can't remember what, but I remember him showing up as some other alien. Speaking of Star Trek cameos, though, we didn't. In addition to obviously Kohlrami and
Bill's dad,
Sloane, and Dad, apparently.
They were
we also
literally watching Star Trek.
They're literally watching Star Trek. They're watching Arena, and then we go to the Vasquez Rocks, which I thought was kind of fun. And then at the very beginning, the Bill and Ted Academy is apparently also Starfleet Academy.
Oh, is it?
It was same location. Whatever that it's like a museum or something,
no, it's
right?
it is the Tillman Water Reclamation Plant in Van Nuys.
Oh, that's what it was. That's right.
Wow.
It's funny. I was gonna say at some point that like, oh man, it's I was gonna make a reference to the fact that it kind of looks, like that, but I didn't realize it was literally the same building. That's amazing.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it, because it's like it's very much the same way it looks in The Flesh.
Yeah.
Like in some of the camera angles are very similar. Because I think usually when they do establishing shots in previous Star Treks, they usually shoot it from the other angle. But it was very obvious. It was a similar angle to what they use in The Flesh.
I love that they picked the exact same camera angle from Arena that they had just shown when they were watching the episode when they get there to throw Bill and Ted off the cliff. That's a pretty funny little touch. I don't know why they did it, but they sure did.
Yeah.
I also got to give out a small.
Of it all,
I also got to give out a small shout out to some of the visual effects, because some of them were awful, right?
Yeah.
Like the seance ghost effect
stupid.
was terrible. But I really thought they did a great job in one particular shot where it's when bad Bill and Ted, evil Bill and Ted come to their apartment and they go away. And there's a shot where they're leaving the apartment and it's real Bill and Ted in front and evil Bill and Ted in back. And you can see that the actors in the front are the actual, actors, and it's doubles in the back. But there's a shot where Keanu Reeves passes in front of the camera and they hide like a wipe in his, as he like passes in front of the camera, and it's hidden so well because then when he walks past, it shows the actors behind and it's them.
Yeah.
And it's one of the smoothest, copy, switcheroos I've seen in a movie of that era.
What's kind of a bummer is I noticed it too, but only because right before they do it, fake Ted turns his head just enough that you can see not Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That part they kind of fucked up that, but I'll give credit to the visual effects guys.
Because then when it switches to, I was like, whoa, what? How when did because it was noticeable because of the earlier fuck up how smooth it was to him being him, and it was just like, whoa, how did they? But computer's bad then. Yeah.
I don't think it was a computer. I think it was a mat. I think it was a mat.
Yeah, it's like the amount of effort they had to put into that transition is fucking insane.
I thought most of the robot stuff was pretty lame, but I thought that the initial shot where they were showing them like kind of opening their mouths to show the robots underneath was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like great, but I actually felt like that seemed to me to be the best of them. And then they went to these like really bad like chest plate things. But the first chest plate, but torso.
Yeah.
The first torso shot was lame. The second one was actually pretty cool. I thought, because they had like the lights and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a mixed bag with the robots. But 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
It's just a strange way. If you want to show multiple times in the movie to different people, this is a robot, this is a robot, this is a robot, 3 different times. It does. Like, I got tired of it real fast. It's like, okay, we know they're robots. We've seen them show their robot parts 3 different ways.
And I haven't consented to seeing their robot parts any of those times. I would really.
Yeah. It's so weird, and it's really like. It's so bizarre to follow up a movie about time travel with a movie that's barely about time travel.
They did get to reuse their like time traveling jokes at the end where they're like, we should set up a sandbag and a cage. I
remembered that being a lot longer and more elaborate than it was.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been nice. That would have been a better touch, I think. Because, I'm trying to figure out what I think of the idea to, I mean, it's good to do something that's not just copy paste the same movie, but with different things. Because I did read somewhere that the original idea was to be closer to that idea of using the technology they have, but instead they're doing an English class assignment, in which case they enter, and here's what I wrote down from Wikipedia or somewhere, they enter classic works of literature like Romeo and Juliet, Crime and Punishment, and Tom Sawyer, which feels fucking impossible for one thing. I don't know if I would be able to stretch my credulity that far.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's also
a little
it's samey with the first one,
Well, and it also feels more like it would have to be inherently edutainment.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going into classic literature, it feels like there's no way that that's just like rollicking good times.
I was going to say, had the Page Master come out at this point? Because it just sounds like Bill and Ted do the Page Master.
Yeah, plus you're trusting that you're picking works of literature that the audience is going to know well enough. And since your audience seems to be younger,
and into stoner
I don't
comedy.
know if they would. Right.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. It's tricky because, a lot of sequels are just, hey, the first one, but more. And it was nice to avoid that, but you can also go too far afield. And I feel like this is a case of that.
Yeah, it did feel like a bunch of sketch comedy sketches stuck together.
I think they could have done another time travel adventure, and I would have been like, I could like going into
books
works of literature is pretty stupid, but like I could see, take the English assignment, right? Like maybe they go back, maybe they have to do a report on Shakespeare, so they go back to Shakespearean times. Okay, here's the joke you put in that one. They become friends with Shakespeare. And
they write all the plays,
and they write, and like you could set it up in the beginning where it's like, when I was learning about Shakespeare, they were like, oh well, there's a theory that Shakespeare was actually multiple authors, and I think that's been largely dismissed. But you could have the intro scene with the teacher where he's saying this, and he's like, oh, but that's considered a myth, or it's not like no academic consensus. They wouldn't use that term in this movie. But then Bill and Ted go back there, and then like all of the Shakespeareanisms, like a lot of those words that have sort of like become words because Shakespeare used them, like words like bogus and tubular start showing up in in Shakespeare works.
Shakespeare becomes even less
more
comprehensive.
temperate and less heinous.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
see now I kind of like that idea. I could see
doing another
time
time travel adventure, and I think making it just with different jokes and different story would have worked.
But a single story, because this one, like, it bounces around all over the place. You meet up with death, you go to hell, you go to heaven, you come back, you play in a band, is a strange and, dare I say, bogus journey.
Yeah. Well, also, okay, and I do have a problem with Station. Because, and it's not just that Station is creepy. It's that,
which he fucking is, by the way.
We go to heaven, and God's like, all right, here's who you get to talk to, and then it's explained that, oh, you didn't think that heaven would only be for humans, would you? Except every other person there is a human. Station is the only alien. Apparently, the universe is just Earth and Station.
Yeah, like maybe they could have reallocated some of the funds to have a few other aliens bopping around. But
that becomes like almost a Hitchhiker's Guide kind of a visual gag. I don't know where that fits in a movie about going to hell and then coming back and.
But it would carry on from the original where, they do reference the fact that there's apparently all kinds of intergalactic life that they make peace with because of the music of Bill and Ted.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, but I feel like it feels like it's so thrown in this movie that I would have rather it just be like, I don't know, who could they team? Oh, we already saw. Oh, you see, they already set this up so perfectly in the intro because we meet Thomas Edison in the beginning.
You think it could be Edison?
Just make it Edison or Tesla or like some dead inventor that they resurrect.
I'd be curious if they make it like an absolute no name, like just like last movie we talked about how they cut John the Surf. If it were like the most brilliant person in existence was someone who couldn't do anything about it because of their circumstance, but in the afterlife around other people is able to like. Hang out with Einstein, hang out with Bach, hang out with whoever, and show that they have this capacity for intelligence.
Or, since the robots had to look jank to begin with, Da Vinci. And he could have made
that fits.
Catarina.
That fits very perfectly.
I think they could have got, what's his name? Brian Blessed? Is that who it was?
John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, that's it.
Brian Blessed is the other boisterous English actor.
Yes.
I always get them confused.
A couple other little things I like that I want to, give at least some praise to. I thought the aesthetics of the three different personal hells that we see were very interesting. Like, it was so angular, and each one had like a very specific color palette. They were cool to look at when you see, like, you're looking down that long table at what's her actual name? Granny S. Preston Esquire.
Hilarious.
Which is a funny joke.
Yeah, it reminded me, like, it had kind of like Tim Burton vibes.
Oh, absolutely.
Which makes sense for the time, right? Because, it's around the time when Tim Burton was doing original stuff.
Everything.
Yeah.
And Granny was played by Alex Winter, which is fitting.
What?
Oh, no shit.
I never knew that.
He's such a cutie.
That's wicked funny.
That's hilarious. I never knew that.
When you go in knowing and you see, it's like, yep, that's him. He's under there.
Yeah.
Which gives me the same kind of vibes as in Back to the Future when Biff is all of his relatives.
Yes. Even the voice of his grandmother.
Yeah, which is perfect.
I thought the kids were pretty good too.
The kids were good choices. They cast those kids well.
They did a nice job, and they did a good job of embodying Bill and Ted without it being stupid. I don't know. I liked it, and we don't, as we know, we don't always like child actors on this show, but I thought they did just fine.
I agree.
So well done, children.
I also saw that Frank Welker did the voice for the Easter Bunny.
That's funny.
Frank Welker does the voice for everything.
That's true.
Who is it?
Oh,
he is the voice
everybody
of everything.
on Futurama that isn't Billy West.
Oh, funny!
Isn't Frank Welker also Freddy on Scooby Doo and every animal sound you've ever heard in any cartoon ever? Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, he does a ton. He is
He's got
frequently
hundreds of credits, dude.
Yeah, but an astounding amount of them are animal sounds. He's really good at them. He's Nibbler too. That's his.
Oh, nice.
Both his chattery noises and his speaking voice.
Oh, cutie.
Yeah, no, the man is one of the most prolific voice actors of the last 50 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, jumping off your point about aesthetics, though, I have to bitch about the aesthetics of the future.
Oh my god.
Because
clothing, dude.
In the first film, it was we don't have a ton of money. We're going to do generic silver, whatever. It worked. Those
computer screens were awful.
I'm complaining about the clothes.
Oh, the clothes.
Because they are so, they're just so early 90s.
Yeah, they look like some kind of, instructional gym video or something. Some kind of workout class.
It dates the movie so badly. And, you could argue the idea is, this is the future's version of the aesthetic of the time where Bill and Ted were at their height. But it comes off, again, less like that and more this is a goofy 90s future.
Yeah, it worked better in the previous movie even with this is the Bill and Ted Utopia of 1987 or whenever that one was filmed. Yeah, this one, the one thing I almost like is those behind the head glasses that pop in front of your eyes. That's a cool design.
Okay, same, except that they didn't appear. I assumed they were going to be some kind of Google Glass or some shit, but they were just safety goggles for when the phone box showed up, and I was sort of disappointed by that.
We did eventually get.
Most people are pretty disappointed by Google Glass, so I guess.
True. Does anyone remember in I think probably about 25 years ago now, there was a brief attempt to make behind the head wraparound safety goggles happen?
Oh, it sounds vaguely familiar.
Except I think they went over the top of the head and they had these goofy super circular lenses in the front.
I remember that. They weren't safe. I think they were just sunglasses. I think they were just it was something that Oakley or one of the sunglass companies was doing.
You were just hoping that they had some kind of use because they were such an aesthetic nightmare.
They were so ugly. I'm almost surprised we never saw one repurposed on Enterprise. Because God, they loved their early 2000s ugly shit.
Jordy was wearing.
Oh yeah, they were called. I just looked them up. It was Oakley, and they were called the over the top sunglasses.
Oh my God, I have to.
And it definitely looks like some kind of superhero goggle.
Oh God, yeah, they are. They're
pretty hideous. You can buy them for $150.
Save a photo to share when this goes up because I got to see this.
Yeah,
wow, they were featured in at least one of the Spy Kids films.
Ooh,
that tracks, though.
There you
honestly.
Go. Anyway,
speaking of eyes, another thing it ages so stupidly is that when Keanu knocks his eyeball out to talk to Nomalos, and they don't even bother doing anything. Like, they hide his eye with his hair for a second. But I'm like, good,
he just has his eye closed.
And then he literally just winking hard, and it looks pathetic. Like, you couldn't have just, like, put some kind of cover over that to look like it's not there.
Or, again, just left his hair there. It's so weird, too, because every other time they use his eyes for communication, they stay in his head.
True.
So it's
but this one he wanted to show himself.
Right.
Yeah, so that took me so out of it, because it's like, oh my god, they didn't do anything there.
I gotta admit, that I kind of thought was maybe a joke and thought it was funny.
Joke to whom?
The audience, like we all know what's happening here. Like that gave me a giggle. But if it wasn't on purpose, then ugh.
Funny. Speaking of in-jokes, the whole station, like the name station, is a full-on in-joke. I don't know if you guys know it.
Oh my god, yeah, I don't tell, because
I guess they cut a ton of this movie when they were in the middle of filming it. Like, I guess, like, even the end, like, they were supposed to re-meet their personal hells at the end and conquer them instead of just escape hell. Which could have been interesting. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it would have felt like there was more of an arc than just kind of random scenes. But in all the cutting they did to the script, they missed one line that would have been about the police station. And the word station is just left at the top of a page. And everyone just thought that was funny, that, you flip to a page and it just says station, that it became their running joke. And then they named the characters Station and had other characters just yell station randomly as kind of like their, cool. And yeah, they kept it.
What the fuck was Station called before that?
I don't know. If anything, it wasn't on the page.
No,
it may have been left over from the first film, maybe? I don't remember. But somewhere the word station just became a joke among all of them.
I really hope it's the latter, because that would make more sense. I mean, not to the audience, but just to me as someone learning this now.
Yeah, the latter makes more sense, but yeah, who actually knows? There's also, like, my favorite IMDb trivia line that I've read that I took down because it's so ridiculous. This is the only movie ever made that has both the Grim Reaper and the Easter Bunny in it.
Oh, wow.
Which is my favorite note.
Hopefully the last.
I mean, fair.
Because who else would do such an insane thing?
I mean, there, if there was that weird CG, like, movie from sometime in the last decade-ish. I forget what it was called, but it was like all the, like, mythical holiday, there's like Santa and the Easter Bunny, and they were like a team of heroes or something.
Oh,
and maybe if that had done better and gotten sequels, maybe then we would have gotten a second film with Santa, the Easter Bunny and Death. Oh my god. That's delightful. Yeah.
What I don't understand is how they, at the end, they were able to go back or go somewhere in time to learn how to play their instruments and have a wedding and honeymoon with the princesses and babies. But we're told in the first movie that when you're back in time in the 80s proceeds as normal. That's why they had a time limit to when they could get back.
Yeah, they forgot their own rules.
Well, their future selves left 12 weeks before the Battle of the Bands. So blah 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 blah, whatever the fuck.
Or their time travel tech has updated, because we note that the stripped umbrella antenna has been replaced by something much more compact and
oh yeah, that's true.
So yeah, the machines have just gotten better. Yeah, there it is. Wink, wink.
All right, I'll take it. I also discovered, and also in this film, the evil robots are able to use the phone booth as a phone booth because they call Bill and Ted as the princesses.
No, they did that in the first movie though.
Oh, did they?
Called someone?
Yeah, Bill calls Ted's house to pretend to be a cop that found his father's keys.
I forgot that.
He did.
I forgot he did that.
That's fine.
Okay,
that's not a new power.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and we also know that in every piece of media, robots can impersonate anyone's voice, because we see that all the time.
Oh yeah, that was.
If anything, that's almost probably like a little Terminator nod.
he did, because Terminator did that with the.
I was thinking of Ruck from Little Girls.
That too.
Oh, so Data does it.
Data does it. True.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it was a T2 reference, because.
Yeah, there's the "your parents are dead" phone call.
Yeah,
well, but also,
that would have been coming out around the same time as this movie,
That's
right?
true, yeah.
But also, Terminator 2 did the best "I'm a robot" reveal ever, which is when he like cuts off his hand and is like, "Check this shit out, bitch." So if they had been taking notes from Terminator 2, they should have taken that note.
So did they have like George Carlin for like 1 day of shooting or something?
Right?
Because for someone who's like listed highly in the cast, he shows up for all of 2 minutes of screen time, if that.
Yeah, well, that's probably because he has an agent. You know, his agent probably insisted, like, if you're going to waste Mr. Carlin's time on this trash, we're going to need a lot of money and also like first billing.
He did a stunt. Well, I was surprised he did a stunt.
That's right, he did. Well, you know what is? It's we talked about this last week. I think this would have been like in the thick of Shining Time Station. So he was busy.
Yes, because that voice acting role was taking up all of his time.
It was. There might have been some live action.
Well, no, but I was gonna say, doesn't he show up as the too though? Like, didn't like Ringo always pop on like in?
Yeah, I think he does
full
show
whatever
up.
Gear a couple times. What do you call
Ringo
it?
does. I just don't know if George Carlin ever did.
I also just feel like Shining Time Station had like probably 20 episodes in its entire run. So.
Yeah.
Like,
is that true?
Yes, he did show up in person.
It was an English show, I guess, but
I have no idea. But I feel like there weren't that many of them.
But yeah, no, he did show up in little live action bits. It looks like.
When let's see, okay, all right. So George Carlin was the host from seasons 2 and 3. Which would have been, released 1991 to 1993. But it was
right around this time.
45 episodes, it looks like.
God damn. Yeah, I always forget
that, more than I thought.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about, like, you know, especially kids shows in like the 80s and 90s. A season, quote unquote, would be like absurdly long. Like, we think of seasons, because with most shows, a season's like 20 to 26 episodes back in the day. But for whatever reason, probably the way they like designed the production schedule, they're like, oh yeah, season 1, 58 episodes, season 2, 12.
Yeah.
And so as adults, we just assumed it was like 4 seasons, but on paper it was 2.
Right.
Yeah, I totally lost track of Rufus too until DeNomolos, also who I lost track of at some point, shows up at the end. I'm like,
too.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, where has Rufus been? Because, you know, when we see the evil robots get to the past and they're looking around, it's like, yep, no Rufus here. I just lost track of him entirely.
See, I was kind of expecting Rufus to be revealed as the character that ended up being Station instead. That they were going to meet Rufus in heaven.
Rufus didn't have cake like Station.
That's true. Yeah. So the Pam Grier character was interesting. And the reveal that it was just Rufus the whole time was felt a little weird.
I didn't realize he had such great tits. That was wild.
Their future only exists because of constant meddling by Rufus.
Yeah. Rufus is really who they should be worshiping.
Yeah. Like, Rufus made sure everything happened.
Yeah, I'm sure he set up most of the traps and stuff too. And also I'll go back and make sure there's a cage and make sure there's a sandbag. Yeah. And when DeNomolos does it, he says, I'll make sure there's a gun. And somehow the gun just appears in it. But that's not the rule. Yeah, he should have found it under a chair.
Yeah. It could have been handed to him by that extra he nearly hit with the cage door.
I missed that. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, when he flings it open, like, there's a guy, like, right next to it who has to grab it before it smacks him in the knee.
Oh, well,
like, you actually see his hand around the bar.
I saw that, too. And my thinking on that was that they discovered that the cage wouldn't stay open. So they just told that extra, okay, when he opens the cage, hold it open so it doesn't shut.
That does track.
Which is like, a piece of gaffer tape could have solved this problem.
Yeah.
But, they had the extra there. Give him something to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I feel like this is one I definitely watched way less. And I think, probably I don't have nostalgia for it, in part because, again, little me kind of avoided this film because those robots scared the fuck out of me.
What about the Easter Bunny?
No, it was fine.
Really? I feel like that would be more creepy to a kid.
The Easter Bunny freaked me out now. Like, I'm worried that he's in my house.
Again, I think it really is. It's
Station
mostly
is horrifying.
The weird way they move and the voices. The creepy digitized voices really did a number on me. I mean, to this day, like, you know, I've said this before, I think, maybe not on air, but like the early Cybermen in Doctor Who have a similar, like, ultra digitized voice that still kind of creeps me out in a way newer ones don't.
The thing is, though, the older ones are creepier too, because, I mean, because they look like someone pulled a sock over their face and, like, drew in some shit, and, like, the way they still have hands. Yeah. There's a lot about the early Cybermen that are fucking creepy. But you're right. Yeah. The voices do not help.
Yeah, like, Little Me clearly had something about ultra digitized voices that, again, I have mostly gotten over, but there's still a little part of my brain that, ugh.
Okay, was it kind of cute that when they were dead, they didn't, like, do anything to the film? They just put them in more monochromatic clothes and paled their faces.
I kind of liked that, yeah.
I thought that was actually kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty clever.
Especially when we see the few times they did try to make them ghosts with special effects, like, oh, yeah, thank God that wasn't most of the picture.
Yeah, I think that's a good and subtle touch, because it's, you only notice it really when they're in shots with other people who aren't, you know, made to look up like ghosts. Yeah, I think the biggest difference that's making this one lag for me so much is, like, I said last week when we talked about Excellent Adventure, how that is a movie built on heart. And this one, there kind of isn't any.
This one was built on shart.
If you didn't bring that up, I was gonna. It's definitely lacking a sort of just optimistic charm.
Yeah, and now we've got, like, Bill and Ted, they go to heaven and they mug people? That seems like the wrong tone.
And they call it out twice. Like, hey, in case you didn't notice, in case the joke was not explicit enough, we have just mugged these people for their weirdly all-matching purple pastel clothes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think...
Shout out to that one hottie in the bathing suit, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think this movie totally falls into, and I think Caitlin kind of, mentioned this at the start, is that it falls into the classic sequel trap, where it's like you have a movie that was kind of an unexpected sleeper hit when it came out. And I would say I would apply the same to Gremlins. I would apply the same to Austin Powers and The Matrix as well. Where it's like you have these movies that are sort of sleeper hits that, you know, may have had a lower budget than what, you know, doing a lot with less. And, you know, I know for like Austin Powers, for example, I remember seeing that in the theater when it came out, and it wasn't in the big theaters. We had to go to the Kendall, which was kind of more of like an artsy theater to see it, because it wasn't like a wide release at first. I think it was later more widely released.
Yeah, they re-released it.
Yeah, it definitely was a movie I heard people talk about. That was a film that actually got its sequel greenlit, not on the strength of its initial run, but on its home video sales.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because, like, apparently enough people were like, you, Jake, were probably one of the few fucking people to see it in the theater, who told other people, and then when it finally came out, enough people went out and bought it that they went, fuck it, let's make a sequel. Which normally doesn't happen.
Jake actually bought 8,500 copies and gave them to all of his friends.
I loved it. I actually really do like
random people on the streets. Okay, I rewatched it recently, and I also love it, but I had forgotten that there are a few problematic elements. We should do the Austin Powers film. There's time travel.
Honestly, any films, comedy films, I would say, from prior to like 2005 are going to have a lot of problematic shit.
I mean, the thing is,
it probably wasn't as bad as it could have been, if I'm honest. There was just like some brown face, you know, which is not good, but it could have
brown
face,
worse. like tasteless gay jokes, like anytime, like
lots of
I don't
sexism.
think there was that much. I don't think there were many gay jokes in Austin Powers actually, but there definitely was like the, you know, like that's a man when she like he punches Basil Expedition's mom or whatever.
Well, any kind of like trans stuff is just stay away. You just kind of got to watch those movies and be like, yep, that's how people talked at the time.
It sucks because it makes it really hard to watch Ace Ventura now too.
My original point that I was going to make about the sequel syndrome, right, is that like you have this movie that's kind of a sleeper hit, and then you suddenly have like it's not, you know, should we do a sequel? It's how much should we spend on the sequel?
Yeah.
And the sequel is almost a given based on, studio pressure.
Yeah.
Or just, we're going to make money.
Well, yeah, they probably did. They probably made oodles,
Like these movies, like Bogus Journey, Matrix 2 and 3, Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged Me, Gremlins 2, these weren't made because the filmmakers had this like really amazing story they needed to tell. They were made because the studio's like, hey, we want to make money. The filmmakers are like, yeah, I also want to make money. And let's come up with an idea.
Yeah, we already have the merch. We can sell more of this merch.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd even kind of say the same of Back to the Future, even though I do love the Back to the Future sequels.
But weren't they already filming the second movie during the first
No.
movie?
They did 2 and 3. They did 2 and 3 back to back.
Okay. Yeah,
there was a pretty big gap between 1 and 2 and 3. Like 2 and 3 came out back to back, but it's like 5 years between 1 and 2.
I think one of the few movies I can think of that really kind of dodges it and is The Empire Strikes Back. Like, that's a movie where it's like, yeah, it's the same thing, but the sequel is so good that it's like, oh, it doesn't like it. Yes, it's part of the same phenomenon of like, we have to make a sequel to make more money. But they actually did a really, really good job with the sequel and even surpassed the original in a lot of ways.
I look forward to finding out if Spaceballs 2, the search for more money, will be good 40 years later.
Well, and not to get off on an Empire tangent, but the thing, too, that people point out is, like, the really crazy part, people that we're looking at George like, are you sure you want to do this? Is, like, the big set-piece battle is at the start of the movie. Like, the Battle of Hoth is the big special effects Death Star run of the film. And it's how they open the movie. It ends with, Luke losing a sword fight, which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah, I think we brought that up when we covered these movies.
Yeah. Another one, too, I think, just to your point, like, the other sort of, it's the sequel, but not only is it good, but I think a lot of people think it might be the better of the two, is Godfather 2.
I've seen none of that series.
Yeah.
3 is as bad as you've heard.
I haven't heard anything about it, so...
3 is like a legacy sequel made 20 years later.
You're the first one telling me that it's anything. I didn't know there was a third one.
Wow. Yeah, no, I knew the third one was bad. I haven't seen any of them, though.
But speaking of legacy sequels...
Yes, there is a legacy.
There's a legacy sequel coming for this series.
And it's funny, like, because this was so... Like, again, I'm usually kind of knee-jerk. You know me, I've bitched before about legacy sequels and how much they're always bad. It'll be interesting to see how this one is, considering I was very cool on this. Like, maybe they'll have learned from what they fucked up with here and make something decent.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm going in with the open mind, that's for sure, because I've heard some good things. I've also heard, like, never set your expectations terribly high.
Well, doesn't it mostly follow their, like, daughters or something anyway? Like, aren't they
we'll find out next week.
Well, I'm just asking.
I know they're in it. I don't know. But I'm gonna, like you said, go in sort of open-minded, because, why not?
I know it has Kristen Shaw in it, who's usually pretty good.
Oh, she's fun.
Kristen Shaw.
Yeah.
Louise.
Louise.
She just plays quirky, weird characters in comedy.
Yeah, I love her in What We Do in the Shadows.
Weird.
Yeah, she's great in that. She's great. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, What We Do in the Shadows is a big one for her.
I was really cool on her character at first. She grew on me, but I really didn't like her at first in What We Do in the Shadows. No.
She shows up a bunch in like 30 Rock. She's great. She's just always just there and weird.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I hope that's on her business cards.
Yeah.
Kristen Shaw, here and weird.
She does weird good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very, very last thing I did like about this movie, the falling to hell gag was good.
Yeah,
just shouting, pause. What do we do now? That's very funny.
It was funny.
Good gag. Like, it's a movie with some good gags, but they're like the through line is just not there.
Yeah, it's funny. There's, of all things, what this made me think of was Despicable Me.
I've not seen.
It's a good movie.
The first one actually is good. Like, But it's a similar thing to the first Bill and Ted, where it's like, there's a plot. It's a little thin, and it's mostly there to hang comedic sequences off of. And again, the second, it's a similar thing, but like with this one, the trick, like the gag, the structure is way more evident and therefore fails because of it. Like that it's just kind of a very weak plot that they hang skits off of. And because you can see the mechanism more, it doesn't work as well. Also, by then, they were leaning way more into the Minions because they realized everyone loved them.
Ugh.
Yeah, like I would say, honestly, elderly. Like, separate it from what the franchise has become. I would argue the first Despicable Me is actually a very cute family movie. It's worth checking out.
It's the girls are in that one, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
Is really good. The first one is really good, and it's got some like surprisingly like heartstring tugging type of moments, and the children are good actors.
Yeah, because they were adults, I think. But
the children were adults?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well.
Like adult voice actors?
Yeah.
Well, fine.
I could be wrong.
Not everyone can be Rock Talk from Prodigy.
No, that is true. But yeah, I think it's so. And again, I think, yeah, kind of like with this, like the second one lacks the sort of open, honest charm. Like, yeah, there's something, like you said, Ames, there's something to that first one that's just so
positive. It's positive.
Yeah, like
it's hopeful.
There's a slang term that is one British and two has negative connotations, and I'm trying to think of the positive American version of it. But there's something gormless about the first one, but in a good way. Like gormless is usually like negative. No. Like they're just they're dopey. They're fun, dopey, goofy dudes. And that suffuses the whole
It's a more charming movie.
I don't think I've ever really heard you say dudes before. This is...
Well, because it's the only word for them.
No, I know. But it's remarkable. I've known you for a very long time.
Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, it's I thought the same thing, Ames, so I'm glad you brought it up. It's lacking that sort of just... It completely lacks cynicism, the first one. And maybe it's because this was created out of, as Jake said, a sort of studio cynical, we want money thing.
Has a villain character. It's a very like not interesting villain character. No. Like all you learn is, he doesn't want Bill and Ted to have succeeded, and we don't really understand why or what the fuck. And he's barely a presence.
He literally is Donald Trump, dude. Like he doesn't he has no mission statement. He's just doesn't like that everyone else is fucking happy. Like, honestly,
there's a very subtle gag about the fact that he was a gym teacher.
Yeah.
Like, so this was clearly written by somebody who hated gym class, which my fat ass agrees. But, like, I don't know. I was thinking, too, like, it's funny because he pops in at the very end. Like, who the fuck are you? It's like, oh, right. Yeah. You don't know that this guy has been the driving force behind the entire picture.
That's true. Yeah. They don't. He says, I'm the one who sent those robots who you just very, very easily beheaded.
Anticlimactically
because
murdered.
They had really awesome, good robots, guys.
Yeah. And it made me think of, like, The Fifth Element, which famously, Bruce Willis never meets Zorg and pretty much doesn't know he exists and is driving everything. But in that film, it's not a problem?
Is Zorg Gary Oldman's character?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Technically, he works for Zorg does own the cab company he works for, but that's the extent of their connection.
I think about that next time I watch Fifth Element.
It's one of those things I never thought of until it was pointed out to me somewhere. I was like, that's right, they never do. And it's not like in a Star Trek 2 way where, Shatner and
Khan.
Yeah, what's his real name? Montalban were never on set together. Like, these characters literally never meet. Barely, I think they briefly, Gary Oldman is coming onto the hotel right as they're leaving, but they don't even see each other. And it's fascinating. And in a way, it almost, the fact that De Nomolos does just show up at the end, hi, it almost would have been better if they'd never met, in a way. It's so weird.
It's interesting, because he built the the evil robot us's.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he just built them too well, because he hates the two robots, because he made them to be exactly like Bill and Ted.
And Bill even says it, you made us, dude.
Yeah, you could have added an off, the evil, the toggle on the back of a Krusty doll. When you want them to go be actually like them, you toggle them on.
Yeah.
Any other time, make them competent.
Yeah. I think they are competent. They just still otherwise talk and behave like Bill and Ted. It's interesting.
They are competent. They're just horrible rapists also. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I hated that.
I liked the metalhead jokes. I didn't like the rape jokes, you know?
Yeah, no. I didn't need the I've got a full-on robot chubby line.
Oh my god, robot chubby! I messaged Chris and was like, what the fuck
Why is this a phrase that
robot
exists now?
Chubby? Why?
And they're looking at this glamour shot of the two princesses together. I do like that the two princesses are better band members than the boys. That's kind of funny.
But they mature faster, bro.
Plus, they're 500 years old.
Well, like we said, drums and piano have not changed much, probably. So that's legit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went in because I had heard a lot of people like this movie, even like either as much or better than Excellent Adventure. I went in expecting a little bit better. There were some jokes. A lot of it just felt sloppy, and it felt almost like they were writing fanfic of their first movie.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And we write better fanfic.
I was going to say, that's offensive to people who write good fanfic, frankly. Not me, but the people that do write good fanfic.
That's the thing. I went into this again with like my main memory being, God, I was afraid of those robots. But aside from that, thinking like I would enjoy myself. And it's like, oh no, this is actually rather dreary. That's disappointing.
It is too bad. It's like you said, because there was like sort of like an innocent hopefulness of the first film, and there's just none of that here.
Yeah, I'm glad I think the first film was held up pretty well.
Yeah, first one's
I'm glad
great.
of that.
Yeah, no, I again, it's another case like we were saying. It's just one of those movies that didn't need a sequel.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, there was a children's animated television series that came out, I think, between the films.
Yep.
But then after this, I just learned this moments ago. After Bogus Journey, there was a short-lived looks like only 6 episodes, maybe, or 8 episodes. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures live-action television series.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that very briefly.
Oh boy, who starred?
Just randos.
No name actors. It looks like Diedrich Bader played King Arthur in an episode.
Nice, wow. But obviously not Keanu nor Winters.
No, it was funny. So I looked it up myself, and the actors that played Bill and Ted don't have their own Wikipedia entries.
Oh, those poor things.
The guy that played Rufus does. He's actually the guy that played Rufus is in a shitload of stuff, and interestingly, the first season of the cartoon, Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, and George Carlin did their own voices. The second season were different guys, and the guy who was the voice of Rufus in the second season was then Rufus in the live-action show.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that works out. Good for him.
He was prolific. Bill and Ted, no.
Yeah, it looks like the guy...
They're like, you're never going to work in this town again, and they didn't.
The guy that played Ted still occasionally has some credits on IMDb, like guest starring on various shows. He was in 2 episodes of Stargate SG-1.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
But that was many years ago.
Corpse 3.
I think it would be fun to have a convention of just voice actors who have portrayed characters made famous by real actors. Leftovers con, we'll call it.
Right. Then there's, and the guy that played Bill doesn't have any acting credits after 2001, but has a few producer credits.
Oh, that's just keeping in line with Alex Winter, who didn't do a lot of acting, but went more producing and directing. So,
well, there you go.
I thought you were going to say had a rap sheet as long as your arm in Florida.
No, he's
didn't
still
do any other acting, but he is currently in prison in Los Alamos.
Yeah, no, he's done all right for himself in a quiet way. It's kind of like how Data went behind the scenes for 20 years.
More than that.
Goonies. But yeah, next week.
Well, if you didn't think that we all faced the music together a lot this week, next week, Bill and Ted face the music. I mean, the fact of the matter is, though, that there's like certainly a more than 50-50 chance of it being a better movie than this, I would say. I mean, just because
I'm gonna put money on that.
Because I felt like this was probably one of the 5 worst movies I've ever seen.
Wow.
I wouldn't put it that low.
Yeah, that's
I was underwhelmed,
aside from Star Trek, I would put it at pretty low. I hated it. I hated every second of this movie. Not every second. I liked death, but most of it I thought was terrible. Anyway, will Bill and Ted Face the Music be a better movie? Only time will tell. Until then, we have 9 million episodes that you can listen to on various podcasting platforms. Our home on the internet, of course, is SoundCloud, but you can find us wherever you find fine podcasts and shitty ones. Any podcast, we're there. We're in the building 19 of podcasts. We're at the William Sonoma of podcasts, everything in between. We're also on Facebook, SSHB Podcast, and Tumblr, sshbpodcast.tumblr.com. You can also just go to sshbpodcast.com, but fun fact, those in the know can tell you that doing that will just bring you to our Tumblr. But arriving at our Tumblr is fucking sweet because you can read past essays, past fan fictions. You can see how we feel about the top and bottom episodes of Star Trek series and Star Trek series in general. Yeah, we just wrapped Discovery, so you can see how we felt about that. Just in general, all the good shit is there, so check that out. I think that's it. We're also on Blue Sky, sort of, I guess.
Building 19?
That's close.
You don't remember Building 19?
I know I do.
I just had great.
I love
Google them. They went bankrupt in 2013. What a deep cut.
Isn't that where we got our great rugs, Jake?
We got all the rugs in our house come from Building 19.
Building 19
is still holding
sick.
up.
I love
No, the rug department also closed in 2014.
Yeah, we got in just before the rugs were gone. We got the good ones.
I loved, as a child, I loved Building 19 because Building 19 had all the grown-up shit that my parents needed, but they also had lots of cheap toys, so I could probably get out there with, like, you know, a small plastic hippo or something and just be like, woohoo! Mm-hmm. So, anywho, next week, face the music.
19.
Until then, check out the old shit. This has been Caitlin.
This has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
And this has been Ames. Station!
No.
They Melvined me.
Did you know that Gene Rayburn was the original announcer of The Tonight Show?
Why?
Gene Rayburn from the Match Game?
Yeah.
Huh.
For what? For Price is Right?
For The Tonight Show.
That's
The
crazy.
Tonight Show.
How did you find this?
Oh, because I was clicking through. I was clicking through Signing Time Station, then to
deep dive,
then to George Carlin, then to the Jack Parr Tonight Show, then to the Steve Allen Tonight Show, and that's where I see that Gene Rayburn was the announcer.
No way.
Thank you, Jake.
I'll stop clicking now.
Yeah,
no, don't. Never stop clipping. Anything's better than fucking thinking about Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, dude. What the fuck?